high pressure nitrogen leak test on a Honda Civic that was in a front end collision. I analyzed the refrigerant with the refrigerant analyzer. It's 100% YF refrigerant. But when I went to recover the refrigerant, there was only 90 grams of refrigerant in the system. The system was almost empty, and this should have 450 grams. If this thing would ever focus. Yeah, 425 grams. Right now I have it pumped up on the high side to 169, and as you see, the expansion valve holds back the refrigerant from flowing over. It's almost 100 psi difference. That's how it normally is, because I'm pushing the refrigerant in on the high side, not the low side. So I just put the refrigerant micro leak detector on the leaks, and they're not bubbling up, and double check with the ultrasonic leak detector. So this side is the high side, and the high side's at 169 psi, and there's no leaks at the collision points. So this is where I squirted all the bubble leak detector, right? And there's no leaks at these points. This is the condenser that is known to leak from Honda, from a factory defect that has an extended warranty on it. And this is the factory key-in condenser. I think the other condenser was Sloan or something like that. I can't remember. It's a memory problem. But what this also means is that compressor could be damaged. Overheated, lack of oil, lack of cooling from running so low through the years without on a low charge of refrigerant. So I have to let this customer know in this body shop who I'm doing the recovery for, I'm their vendor. I have to let them know of possible other leakages, like a leaky evaporator, leaky shaft seal on the compressor, damaged compressor, because this is one of those situations where the body shop will replace the condenser and say they do it themselves, or they send it down to the street to an air conditioning shop and they charge it up, and the compressor completely fails after they charge it up, or shortly fails after in a couple days or weeks. They'll blame the shop who did it. But with the lack of education and knowledge, the lack of experience, knowing that Hondas have a pattern problem with leaks, compressors going out that are destroyed by Honda's defective condenser leaking out the refrigerant, causing the compressor to overheat due to lack of coolant, refrigerant return, and lack of oil return, will roast the compressors because of Honda's defective condenser that they have an extended warranty on. So that's why I'm documenting, I'm pressure testing that this system was low on refrigerant. Didn't lose the refrigerant from the accident at these points where the little collision has taken place, to let the customer know of a possible problem, so they don't have a problem. Because they can have a customer say, oh, my AC was working just fine before it came into your shop. No, not in this case. They only had 90 grams inside there, and I could see the shadowing on the condenser, where old possible really small seepage, micro seepage through the tubes of the condenser. But that's it for now. Let me crank this up a little bit more. I'm gonna give it a little more pressure. Let's go up to 200. Let's see. And once this gets up around 200, if you let it set, the bleed by here, this would go up. It looks like this one was about 20 psi under from 160 something to there, but this will keep bleeding up until it comes close to within 100 psi of high, and then the low side will stop. And that's the shut off of the spring pex, or the capillary, the gas charge on top to overcome. You need the additional pressure. But talk about that in another video. This is something you learn when you go to school for HVAC only. This is something you learn when you're in automotive air conditioning class, hopefully. Apparently I've talked to guys, they don't learn this no more. They don't teach them about overcoming the pressure, or they don't remember it. And this was something my dad taught me when I was a kid before high school. All right, guys, I'll see you later.